Okay, so I have this watercolor palette that is dried now, and I made a little swatching sheet so that I have a nice idea of what color is where. And I'm just going to go in and draw a kind of spooky cemetery kind of thing because this is a Halloween palette and I wanted to do a Halloween watercolor with it. So I'm going to do a little tiny bit of perspective. So I'm going to just quickly, I'm drawing in the earth, and then I'm drawing in some tombstones and some tree. So the tree is going to be farther away, so it's going to be a smaller tree on that horizon line I just made. And the closer to me tombstone is going to be a little bit bigger than the other ones, so that it kind of looks like I'm right up next to this tombstone. And well, as with any watercolor washing or whatever you do, you always wet on wet for me. Anyway, I like my wet on wet. I add water. So my first layer is water, and it's not pooling or dripping, it's just getting the paper wet sufficiently so that when I put my color down, like you see here, it spreads really nicely. So I'm going to go in with the cad yellow, and I'm doing that. I'm not going all the way down to the bottom of the page because I'm going over the horizon, like the earth stuff, with black because I just want this to be a really beautiful sunset for Halloween. So I go in with my cad yellow, and then I'm putting that closest to the earth. And then my next step one is the cad orange, and I want them to spread a little bit. You notice I'm kind of not really worrying about if it goes into the tombstones or the tree because I made those lines, so I'll be able to see through the dried watercolor and continue doing what I want to do with this painting. So after the cad orange, you see me going in with the geranium lake. Now this is such a fantastic Halloween color. I'm so glad I chose it for this Halloween palette. You can get such an intense red out of it, but it really works so well with purple and orange. Like, so one really key thing you want to remember when you're doing watercolor is you cannot put complementary colors next to each other. So I can't put yellow right up next to the purple that I'm putting on or the mauve that I'm putting on because it'll turn brown, and I really don't want a brown sunset. So I have to put red in between the orangey yellow and the purple because red is in both of those colors, and it's kind of like a nice transition, makes friends with those two colors. So I know that if I have a thin layer of red between the purple and the yellowy orange, I will not get a brown. So that's just to keep that in mind when if you're trying this watercolor with me here. And then now you see me here, it's kind of really wet, so I tilt it to one side and I'm just tidied up along the tape line just so that I can get some of that excess paint off. And now I really want more purple and more darker towards the top. So I'm going in, I do a little line of Payne's gray along the corners, but I want to put more mauve in. And you see me here, I'm adding some red just so that it counteracts, like, see, a little swipe of brown there. But I'm going to fix it. I go in with red, add more purple, do the orangey thing, kind of blend it out again just to try and get those colors clean again because I don't want brown. So you'll see me even tilt it a little bit just because I don't want it pooling. I want the yellow to stay nice and bright and yellow. So I'll give it a little tilt, and then I add more colors. So I add more purple because I really want that intense purple sunset, like almost going into like the black around the edges and the Payne's gray around the edges. So see my red, I'm going in with a nice strip of red, and it'll all blend together really nice because the orange, you need red to make orange. The purple, you need red to make the purple. So it kind of just blends really nicely together, and you kind of avoid the brown, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Just trying to intensify the colors, and they will dry and they will keep blending as they're just sitting there. So really, it's one of the wonderful things about watercolors is that they do kind of go where they want to go. They have a little bit of a mind of their own, and you just kind of have to wing it almost and kind of go with it, right? So this is starting to look really, really fantastic, really what I want to have it look like. And then, you know, it kind of looks out of place just a little bit right now because the bottom isn't black yet. But once that bottom is all silhouetted in with the graveyard, it's going to look so fantastic. That sky is just going to pop. It's just going to be so vibrant. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the purple. But yeah, for the most part, I love this so far. Actually, I didn't add more purple. So I'm going in, recently, if you've been watching my videos, you know I'm just recently new to Posca markers, and I love my Posca pens. And this one is a brush tip. I didn't know they had brush tips, but I picked one up accidentally, and it was like one of those happy accidents. So I'm just using the brush tip Posca marker, and I'm outlining all of my tombstones and my tree, and like all the little details that I want to show through in the silhouette. So here I am. I have a couple different kinds of tombstones. So I have the traditional cross, and then I kind of have like this more ornate cross that kind of, it's further away, so it looks smaller, and that's the key to a perspective. So the more you go up this hill, the further away these tombstones are from where you're looking right now. So those are going to be smaller. And my tree, it's going to fill in kind of that area, but it's going to look smaller regardless because the trunk is not very thick, right? So I'm going to have all these scraggly fingers, like branches and things coming off of the tree, but it's going to look really, really good because it's a smaller tree. So it's way further back into the background of this picture. And then like once I have that in, I also tried to give it like 4 or 5 bigger branches because I wanted to look kind of like a spooky, crackety old hand. I don't know if it really succeeded in that hand thing visualization, but I really I love how this one turned out actually. So, you know, it's you try it, and if you like it, that's awesome. Always try and draw in pencil first because you can erase the pencil and you can't really erase a Posca marker. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed how this tree turned out. It's just the right amount of scraggly and Halloweeny. And then after my tree is in, I'm actually going to make the earth. So the silhouette of the ground, essentially, right? And I'm going to fill in the tombstones. So I'm just going to fast forward this tombstone part because it's just coloring in what I've outlined already. And then once I have the tombstones done, I finish the earth, and then around the base of the tombstones and the base of the tree, you want to add little tufts of grass because even that, you know, makes it look like no one weed whacked around it and it's still like, you know, leafy and it's a cemetery that's been neglected a little bit. But yeah, so this is my final thing, and all that's left to do is take a Posca marker and fill in the earth. So I'm just gonna color it all in with black Posca, and there you go. And this is my Halloween palette with my Halloween painting, and I absolutely adore it. I think it's such a fantastic painting. I'm gonna do it with some of my students in my art class. So bye for now. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and join me next time for the stained canvas. So bye for now.